Yes, we are responsible for enforcing the Coastal Protection Act, and by then giving advice to all the citizens and coastal owners in Denmark. And since the coastal protection is a coastal owner or landowner's responsibility and also to pay, it is really a challenge to make something integrated, to make coastal zone management. As it is now, it's let's say the task of the municipality is to make a coastal zone plan, or they have the opportunity to do that. But Slagelse Municipality is one of the municipalities that has advanced more or most, because I think they've had the flooding. But there's really a lack of good management plans that are sustainable and holistic. So that is the key driver, that we miss these plans because the drivers are not there, and the drivers are mostly a storm or something of a disaster.
So thank you for that. And maybe you have a statement?
Yes, I would like the drivers not be the environment, but being us. So we are the drivers, and we are in front of with the planning. And I can see in Denmark there's a lot of obstacles built in our present legislation and the way we are organizing. I see the West Coast being organized as one coastal management cell by the state and the government taking responsibility. And I see we have some visions about the West Coast, but this is only maybe 500-600 kilometers of these 7,500 kilometers. So the rest is left over to the landowners to find out what do we want with the coast, our inland coast. And I feel that we need to step up now and do our planning.
Yes. Your statement?
Well, a point I wanted to make today after having heard the speeches was that I've heard a lot about sea level rise and coastal flooding, but when I look at the situation in Flanders, and to put it a bit controversial, I think that's one of the easiest, well-known and technically maybe the most feasible thing to have a solution for. And there are a lot of other climate change effects that could be much more difficult, much more relevant for our coast. And a few examples would be the temperature rise, would be the drought problems, would also be the fact that we have a very aging population on our coast, etc. So we shouldn't forget the complexity of the climate change effects and not only focus on sea level rise.
Yes, thank you. And your statement?
Yes, I will have focus on the integrated coastal zone management, which for me means that you take into consideration all the aspects of the coastal zone management. And today we have heard a lot about sea level rise, and we've heard about infrastructure initiatives. But it's also important to me to look at the coastal zone as a whole, to see what is interests that are in the coastal zone. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is that we invite the stakeholders to be part of this process, to take a discussion. Do we really want to ensure all the infrastructure in the coastal zone? Do we need to let the nature stay at the stage it is now, or are we open for dynamic changes along the coastal or the climate changes?